What's up, guys? Here at the Tailwaters Lodge, you have an awesome opportunity to get out on the different tailwaters in our region and catch lots of different types of fish. In this episode, we're going to be joining Logun Shell. He is one of the guides that's associated with the South Holston River Company, and they work hand in hand here at the Tailwaters Lodge to give guests an awesome experience on the water. Guys, in this particular outing, I catch my personal best brown trout on the fly rod, and it's an absolutely awesome experience. I hope you guys enjoy it. Without further ado, let's jump right into the action. Yeah. Ooh, golly, dude, that was a big fish, dude. That was a big fish. Wow. Big fish, big fish. Really big. That's a big round.
I remember, you know, whenever we first started fishing together and everything, and you was like, hey, I want to try this fly fishing thing, and you know, I was willing to take that task on, I believe. And when you first started casting, what, you probably couldn't get 10 foot maybe from the boat, maybe, and streamer fishing was definitely out of the question. You know, fast forward over, you know, a few year time span, we went to some high water rigs, got a little bit more weight on the line for you, and then we finally graduated to the streamer rod. And yeah, I mean, just to see Michael grow, and as a fly fisherman, this all-around fisherman, means a lot to me, and this moment that we got to share. You know, we've had some heartbreaks in the past. We've had, you know, we've missed a lot of good fish over the past few years, and one in particular is that striper during that summer whenever we was floating the Holston, and we come up and saw the striper eat the streamer, and next thing you know, it was gone, and me and you both were just like, oh man, this was our chance, because we targeted those things for a daggone month, I feel like. And it was just like every little thing, like the water conditions wasn't right or the generation wasn't right. I mean, we was constantly uphill battle with that. So we've kind of went all around. I mean, we went 360. We went from, you know, we fished small creeks together. We went for brook trout to a bow and arrow cast to, hey, Michael, I need you to double haul this line 40 foot to feed this dry fly to a trout that's rising. You know, and it's very special to see that, and to see an angler go 360 like that. A lot of guides don't get to see that full picture. So when we started today, you know, it was that boarded, it was pretty daggone cold. I think maybe our eyelets might have froze up a time or two. You know, we're essentially not very many people out there at all. I think we was the first ones through this tailwater, and we had a lot of heartbreaks happen right off the bat. We lost a pretty good fish right out of the gate of fishing together, and we got to see it. It was pretty close to the one that we landed. You know, we caught some other fish too in between this. You know, that just some little dinkers, and we was about to wrap up our day. The day was kind of coming to an end, and we actually saw this fish move, and looks like it may have come up and eaten an emerger, or maybe a small blue wing or something off the surface. Coached Michael into, you know, hey, this is where we need to put this cast. This is what we need to do here to see if we can't get a good drift over this fish. And sure enough, we put the first drift that we got through, indicator went down, and Michael set the hook, and I didn't think it was that fish, to be honest. I thought it might have been a secondary fish that we didn't see that might have been there with it, because I still felt like we wasn't right on top of that fish where we thought it was. I thought we was still a few yards away from it.
It's big. That's a huge brown. Yep. Oh my goodness, my heart's pounding. Yep.
So we hooked this fish, we know it's big, and you know, me and Michael, when we catch fish, we just get excited. So when we hook or see or even get a chance or a shot at a fish of this caliber, especially a brown trout, we're both pretty daggone excited. So I see the light bulbs in Michael's eyes at this point, after he realizes how big this fish is, and I was like, man, we're gonna have to coach through this, or we're not gonna land this fish.
This is by far the biggest trout that I've ever hooked on a fly rod. So right now my heart's pounding.
So at this point, I'm constantly watching Michael. I'm feeding off his body language as well. We had some excess line laying in the boat, and it is actually tangled around my boat box at this point, and this fish is peeling off line at this, you know, going downstream. And I was like, I just happened to look down. I was like, dang, that's gonna cause the end of this real quick. So as Michael's, you know, letting this fish do its thing and letting line out perfectly, I clear his line for him, so it'll go up to the reel at this point.
About got it to the reel. We're on the reel. But he is just nose down.
I think I even mentioned at one point, even though we checked the drag 1,500 times that morning, I was like, hey, check this, give it just a little check real quick just to make sure.
It's good. It's good. So guys, right now he's directly under the boat and he's just going straight down. I don't know how we're gonna land this fish.
Said, I don't know how we're gonna land this fish. I'm like, we're gonna get it this time. We're going to get it this time. And you know, coaching up Michael and telling him that, you know, remain calm and, you know, pay attention and let's concentrate here. Let's make sure we're doing everything correct. Because I mean, that's you know, that's a once in a lifetime fish for a lot of anglers, new and old.
Yep. He's head shaking. Don't like that.
So I had to make sure that my boat was angle correct for Michael. The fish really couldn't decide if it wanted to be fought downstream or fought upstream. So there was a couple times that I really had to put on the brakes. Actually turned the boat at one point, and I do not like ever doing this too much, especially in flowing water, is I don't like really turning my nose back upstream. And we had to do that a couple times, and it was kind of one of those things, now or never. Either turn the boat now and still have this fish, or let Michael, you know, get this fish behind him. And it never pans out when that fish gets behind you. Yeah, we was pretty well into the fight at this point, and this fish wasn't showing any signs of really wanting to be really of tiring at this point in the fight of this fish. I felt like we still had a few more minutes to go, and I knew when it come to the net job, a lot of times you make that mistake of wanting to net that fish too early, and you know, not getting that fish fully in the net, or you know, they see this big metal object coming towards their face and they're already scared to death because they're, you know, been, you know, hooked on a line for so long. They just freak out and panic, and it makes them even more panicky. So it's thrashing around, you're trying to net it. The fly could come unloose, the line could break. So I knew that we only had one, and if we was lucky, 2 shots of this fish. So I wanted to make the first shot, trying to net this fish the right shot. So, you know, I went ahead and got off the oars after Michael was able to turn this fish at this point, and I felt like the fish was pretty daggone at the end of his rope, as far as the fighting aspect. And I seen the fish turn its head. When he was able to turn that fish's head,
he's coming up. He's
with
coming
the
up.
fly rod, I knew right then that we about had this fish whooped, and it was about to be in our hands.
He's on the surface. Oh yeah! Yeah!
Yeah!
Whoa!
Oh yeah!
Look at that thing,
Michael.
dude! Look at the kite.
I held it as long as I could, you know, because I was trying to be the call one, trying to help Michael coach him up, and try to be almost emotionless, you know, because we've had those days, and I've had those days, you know, does it go right? Or you know, it's almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, and we've had a lot of those days.
Oh my God!
Woo! Let's go!
You know, water magnifies everything, so it will fool you when it comes to the size of the fish. We knew it was a big fish to begin with, but when you have that fish in the net and you go to lift it up out of the water, and you feel that it's a little bit of a strain for you to actually pick this fish up, you're like, wow. this really was a big fish, and getting to see it out of the water for the first time, I mean, it honestly shocked both of us. I feel like we're like, wow, this brown trout is a beautiful, healthy male that, you know, very old, very hard to catch a fish like this, and then also being able to, you know, fully see that picture come together. You know, and me and Michael's friends also, and other than, you know, teaching and learning about fishing from each other and everything, so getting to put all that together and see that full picture, it was like the Mona Lisa got presented to you. And I think that's a new nickname for that fish. I think I'm going to call that fish the Mona Lisa, because I got to see the full picture.
That is a tank.
Oh, that's a big fish, man.
That is the biggest fish we've landed together, dude.
Ever. I mean, that is.
Let's go, baby.
Guys, this fish is absolutely huge. I mean, there's a kype on this thing. I'm going to show you guys. We're going to get some shots of this that are unbelievable. The whole day was just made for that.
Yeah.
That was.
Yep. This is what we come for.
That thing's huge.
Well, dude, we've constantly had error over error and bad luck and bad luck, missing fish, hung up.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's just been that. And then this guy.
Yeah, that's a reward for not giving up right there.
This shows you, you know, it ain't over till it's over.
No.